the shadows lead, letting go of control to find unexpected beauty. In the village of Light's Hollow, every evening brought the shadow dance, a lively event where the townsfolk gathered by the fire and watched their shadows twirl and stretch across the ground. It was a joyful, rhythmic tradition. The villagers spun, stomped, clapped, and watched their shadows mirror each movement. But one warm summer night, something peculiar happened. As soon as the villagers began their dance, their shadows took on lives of their own. Instead of simply following, the shadows started leading. They formed conga lines, made silly shapes, and moved in ways the villagers couldn't follow. Little Eli watched as his shadow did a funny wobbly twist, while Mina's shadow did cartwheels behind her. "What's going on?" Mina giggled, trying to make her shadow stop, but it just spun and spun like a top. "This is all mixed up," Eli said, scratching his head. "Our shadows are supposed to follow us, not the other way around." The villagers tried to stomp harder, clap louder, and move faster, thinking they could get their shadows to behave. But the shadows only grew sillier, their antics turning wilder and wackier by the minute. Shadows were hopping like frogs, wiggling like worms, and doing little dances that looked like chicken flaps. Just then, the village elder, Granny Willow, hobbled up with a big knowing grin. She chuckled as she watched everyone struggle with their playful shadows. "Why not let the shadows lead tonight?" she said with a twinkle in her eye. "Sometimes the best way to find joy is to stop trying so hard to control things. As the Dao De Jing says, the master acts without doing, and everything falls into place." The villagers exchanged glances, still feeling a bit confused. But Granny Willow took the first step, lifting her arms and letting her shadow move her instead of the other way around. To everyone's surprise, Granny Willow's shadow formed beautiful, swirling shapes, leading her gracefully in a new dance. It looked, well, magical. Slowly, the others joined in. Mina, Eli, and the rest of the villagers let go of their usual steps, allowing their shadows to guide them. They twirled, laughed, and moved in unexpected ways, each discovering new steps they'd never imagined. As the night went on, Light's Hollow filled with joyful shouts and laughter, and the shadow dance became more beautiful than ever. The villagers realized that by letting go and following the lead of their playful shadows, they had experienced something more joyful and freeing than they ever had before. After the dance, Mina turned to Granny Willow. "I never knew dancing could be that fun," she exclaimed. "It's like the shadows knew something we didn't." Granny Willow nodded. "Sometimes, my dear, the best things happen when we let go and let life surprise us." And from that night on, the villagers of Light's Hollow allowed their shadows to take the lead in their dances, finding new joy and freedom in simply letting go. Subscribe Little Wiz now. Spark big wisdom in little minds.